be very similar to Dark Souls. You could play it offline, and you never know it had PvP options. Like that's the kind of PvP I want in my game. Like you could, like I said, if you didn't know there was PvP in Dark Souls, would you have ever actually known?
No.
You know what I mean?
No way.
Exactly. I really like that. But I think I had mentioned this on a separate episode.
I would have figured out when Cuckbuster69 came in and killed me.
I mean, he's not wrong.
Yeah. Remember how to do it?
It doesn't matter.
It's your thing, Cam. You do it.
Oh, I get to do it again?
Yeah, it's your thing.
You're the guy behind the mic.
Yeah.
Please don't make
Everybody's behind him.
Please don't make a production about it. Just go.
We're all behind the mic.
Okay, everybody. We're going live. In 5, 4, 3.
Thank you. Good evening, beautiful people. Welcome to 8-Bit Opinions. This is a gaming podcast where we talk about, guess what, gaming and other stuff, gaming news, mechanics, just whatever we feel like. As always, I am here with the boys on episode 8 of 8-Bit Opinions.
It's our golden birthday.
Making progress, yeah.
Slowly but surely.
And like I said, I'm here with the boys at their Twitter accounts, at BMel. It's not.
I'm not on Twitter. BML's taken on Twitter, and I'm still mad about it.
Actually, is anyone here on Twitter? Like, not that you have a Twitter account, but like you're on Twitter.
I mean, no.
I don't think so.
What? No.
Yeah.
No.
It's such a popular thing for our age. It's weird that no one here uses it.
Is it popular?
It's a very millennial. It's a very millennial thing for sure.
I feel like it's a dumpster fire half the time.
It is a dumpster fire.
Most of the time, all those social medias.
Snapchat.
Probably. There you go. That's literally what I was about to say.
I'm literally.
Would you guys consider? This is actually a good. Okay, at BML, at Nosferatu2Cam, at fucking. I'm just gonna keep saying it. At Zidane. Maybe you'll make one. Who knows?
At Zidane16.
Yeah, true. At Zidane16 is his real one.
If you or a loved one hold the rights to at BML on Twitter, please get in touch.
I've actually got. Yeah, he'll Vimo you.
Yeah.
So I actually just got inspired for this. So, would you guys consider Discord a social media platform?
No.
More of the
Why?
communication.
Well, no. Here.
Would you consider Skype?
But it's kind of different though because you can share a bunch of stuff. It's like Skype is mainly video.
Teams?
Skype is mainly video communication, Stan, right? But like,
what about
Discord?
Like
hold on,
Zoom?
Discord has like a lot more. It has a lot more of a sharing capability. Like you share memes on there all the time, which is something people do on social media and whatnot.
So I agree that it's quite a bit different than Skype, but when I look at Discord, I see like a pretty hard analog to things like Slack or I can't think of it. Skype for Business, like the Skype for Business suite is why I mentioned Skype, because like Skype free is garbage. Microsoft Teams, those all really have a similar format to Discord, where you have like different channels with different people in them. You can have text channels, chat channels, group calls.
Except Discord is better.
Discord is way better.
Discord's mainstream.
But I would almost kind of disagree because like streamers and like popular content creators, they use Discord and they use it basically as a social media. You know, they post their stuff, they post what they're doing, gaming wise, the content they've created. They add other people who like, hey, I need you to create this overlay for this. You know, like they utilize it in that way. So I think I wouldn't say it's like, maybe we'll meet in the middle. Like say it's kind of like something in between Skype and Twitter.
So I'm totally on that side of what you just said. That's exactly what I wanted to bring up, was the streamers and just anybody. So you look at Snapchat and you go over those stupid like stories and stuff. And
I hate
like,
Snap stories so much.
But I like Snap stories of people that I know. But when you have like all the famous ones that are underneath it that are like, hey, look at all this random bullshit. Yeah, they're awful. But if you look at them and they're people, they'll rep their Discord because it is like social media. People just post all kinds of content in there, and you can go looking for it and look around. Like you have a following on there.
It's
It's
true.
just-
I did it for a while.
Yeah. So instead of being friends with somebody, like that does nothing for you on Discord. But if you join a server, that's like subscribing to the content, is being in that server. And it, like, I know Logan likes sports Discords, and I'm sure in those Discords they're posting all kinds of information about sports and whatnot. I think it's a unique take on social media. It's not more of a look at me for our setting with us. Like, yeah, we share memes like in my Discord and stuff, but like when you get big and you have thousands of people in your Discord, then yeah, it's like a hey, look at me, look at my community.
I don't want it to get as big as Twitter or something like that because I feel like it would ruin Discord.
It would.
Yeah.
It's huge
100%.
already, I thought.
Huh?
It's pretty freaking big right
I know
now.
it's big, but I don't know like the concurrent like online percentage.
Lots.
A good point that I thought you made. Sorry, Stan, just one thing real quick. A good point that I thought you made, Cameron, is that Logan subscribes to like sports. Like in my mind, when I was rationalizing it as well, I was saying for like gaming stuff because that's what I obviously use it for the most is like gaming related stuff. But you're right. People even subscribe to Discord stuff that's non-gaming related. So that definitely adds another social media aspect to it. Go ahead, Stan.
Well, I was just gonna say, one of the things that makes it different in my mind is kind of like the reach of something in particular. So, like, if you go tweet something, anyone can see it. You go on Facebook, I guess it's kind of the same. I mean, if it's public, anyone can see it. You can lock it down, so it's only your friends and family. On Discord, you only see content that you're explicitly joined to. So, like, you have to go join the server and like. By default, you get notifications. But so it's like it seems less like social media to me because it's less of an open global platform, and it's more of like you can come here and you can make your little area that you and your guys can come hang out in. So it's like it's different little like bubbles of social media groups that are pretty well isolated. So it's almost like after listening to you guys talk about it, it's like Slack meets Facebook.
I disagree
Like all the
with that.
feature of Facebook, but you can group it up in servers.
But the thing is, on Instagram or whatever, you're not going to see that other content unless someone shares it to you. So
no, you have like discovery feeds. You can go explicitly just looking for new content. You're not subscribed
you can do
to.
that on Discord as well.
Where?
The little plus
That's true.
sign.
There is a server discovery thing.
Yeah.
Really?
So
No one uses it.
yeah, no one uses
But,
it.
but same thing with the
That's a-
Instagram. Like a lot of people don't use that either.
I don't use
Add a
that.
server. Those are templates for creating a server.
No, there's like you can look around for other servers. Like you can type in names and find. It shows you how many people are in that community. But what I'm getting at is that you have these different communities, and the only way, like if I'm on Instagram, I'm not gonna see other content from big creators unless I go out of my way to subscribe to them, or one of my friends like links a post, like their story, back to their post and shows it that way. So that's kind of the same thing back to Discord. Hey, look at this server. You can literally create invites in servers to other servers, or just even a picture shared out to a community. If you have 5,000 followers in your Discord and you post a link to join somebody else's Discord, you're going to get in there and see a bunch of other content. Or here's a picture of something really funny from said person. Look up their and there you go.
Yeah.
Like,
Look up their at.
Yeah.
Wait, so when I say add, it actually is viable because we're all added here in Discord.
Yeah.
but if you look up Nosferatu Cam on the internet, I don't know what the hell.
You're not gonna find that in Discord.
You're not gonna find any of that up there. But
So I don't know. I feel so on Instagram, if I want to find something new, so like my Instagram feed is pretty much tailored to me. It's all like cars and video game stuff. So there's like a whole explore tab. A lot like so I never knew about this for Discord. That does change my opinion a little bit, the explorability. But I feel like on other more traditional social media sites like Facebook, Instagram, the platform makes an effort to serve me content, new content in my areas of interest.
Discord.
There's no feed to Discord.
Yeah, but also that's one thing. But like also there's a social aspect to social media, and that's something that Discord does really, really well. No, you can't just go and explore. Well, but you kind of can, because like the Discords, you can't go like explore a certain person. But I definitely think it is a, like, based on all the functions and how it relates to it, I do think it would be considered a social media, especially when you take in like the streamers, the content creators, and all that sort of stuff.
Communication platform over social media.
I don't know. So
Hell, man, I don't know why businesses
but
don't use it more.
yeah, I was honestly confused about that because like I go to work and I support Zoom all day, and then I come home and I just use Discord.
Yeah,
It's so much better.
It is so much better.
And we used to use Slack at a sales place I used to work at. We used Slack, and the whole time I was just like, man, Discord would be so much more efficient with what we're trying to do.
Yeah.
I definitely think so. It had more channels, less like latency and stuff like that. Like, it seemed more beneficial like overall. But
I've been on Slack on my phone and I do not like it. It's
tough.
It's ugly.
I don't know if I even. So I mean, can we say you gave it a fair chance if you did it on your phone?
I guess not.
Like, if you didn't give the desktop app a try at least, because like Outlook mobile is awful. Also, Outlook for desktop is awful. Also.
So I use Slack on the desktop at work when I work there, Stan, and I still didn't like it. So
Okay.
But yeah, it's well, I mean, even what do you guys think of Discord mobile? I think it's pretty good.
I fucking love it.
Discord
well,
mobile
yeah.
is one of the best mobile adaptations.
Like, you can just be like, I'm gonna connect and like talk into your phone like you're in the group.
Yeah, I've never done that because I don't want to subject you guys to that. But you're right, you can do that.
And then you just hold it like you're talking, on your phone to somebody, and you can talk to everybody.
So I have actually a couple times had a Discord video call with Cameron on the drive over to his house with my phone.
How'd it work?
Yeah.
Pretty well.
Disclaimer: we are not sponsored by Discord.
Why didn't you just call him?
Yeah,
Why didn't-
like, what the fuck? You want to stare?
I'm pretty sure he video called me.
Yeah,
That sounds like
makes
something Cam would do.
sense.
I like video calls.
Who
Yeah.
wants to see your face, Stan?
It felt
Cameron we'll be sitting in our Discord, and Cameron will jump in on his phone when he's at like the store. You remember when you did that with Liz a couple weeks ago? Well, about a month ago, I'd say by now. But
I feel like I only did that one time. I feel like it was really snowy and I was ripping around in this.
no, it wasn't snowy.
That I don't remember. But okay, I could see me doing that. You said all the time.
That's true.
Maybe a couple times I've done that.
That's true. I've never done it because, like I said, I don't want to subject you guys to that.
Sorry, I want to
Yeah.
speak to my friends.
How
Yeah,
dare
Remember
you.
that?
Dude,
So-
imagine trying to be social in a social app. What the fuck is wrong with you?
Do you guys remember that? Didn't we have like a Snapchat group call once too?
Oh, yeah,
Like,
I definitely always
Someone
did one of those.
accidentally called and then we all just joined. You know?
Who accidentally called? Like, who started that chain?
It was probably me. I do it all the time.
Yeah, you boomer.
Yeah.
Can't figure out which buttons to push.
No, it's I swear I pushed the button and put it in my pocket, and then it just does what it wants.
Why do you
Mhm.
call us and put us in your pocket? That doesn't make sense.
I pushed the button to turn the screen off. God.
So isn't
All right,
like the
boys.
video call button kind of close to like the back button or something? Or it's on the top, isn't it?
I have no idea.
Yeah, it's like a little icon, correct? Like
Yeah.
right next to it, I believe. So yeah, I think Discord is definitely a social media. Like I said, I joined one the other day with like a bunch of content creators and stuff like that. Like, I was just joining a guy who like I was playing a game with.
Mhm.
But by the way, he had this thing where like you had to use an emote to get certain to take some restrictions off of your account. Have you guys ever seen something like that? I thought it was weird.
No, is that like a prove you're a real human thing?
I think it was to minimize. Well, actually, I asked him. It was to minimize like the amount of people within the Discord. Like I said, it was for a bunch of content creators. So there were some people who would literally spam like advertisements in their Discord to try to get content creators to like, hey, I'll make this like a title screen for you for like $5. You just let me know. Like they just spam that type of shit, right? So then he implemented that to like combat that. Did you ever have a problem with? Because you had a decently sized Discord, Zidane. Did you ever have any problems like that with it?
Occasionally.
And not just advertise, right? Not just. Well, the other thing, this was a bunch of people, not just one like you. But yeah, go ahead.
I usually just ended up kicking them.
Yeah.
I was like, I'm not dealing with that. Fuck out of here.
At that level, you could moderate it yourself, huh?
Yeah.
That brings up one really cool thing about Discord that I really like. So I mean, you guys know me. It's open source, I believe. They have packages for everything. Like they have a tarball for Arch. Like it's awesome. And like the amount of programmability, because they have a pretty good API and they have really good resources on writing your own bots. So like, you know, you go to these people's channels, most of the time they have a couple helper bots. They've got like Music Dude, like they call it Groove
Static.
Bot?
Yeah, Groove Bot, Static.
Bot. You've got bots that do like access control that like set permissions for people. And like
that is Static, Stan, by the way.
So yeah, one of the really cool things that Cameron and I have seen in Discord. So when we were raiding in World of Warcraft,
World of Warcraft,
classic.
Classic.
I only play classic.
WoW. Go ahead.
When we were playing classic WoW and we joined a guild and we didn't have Dungeon Finder, so like pretty much all of our guilds had like a DKP bot to keep track of loot points, and there was like a scheduler bot. So like every week, Cameron and I would have to go into like the scheduling channel in the guild Discord and like sign up, and it was like they posted the time, and then you had to like click the reaction for your specific class that you were going to bring to that raid. And it was really cool because it was like, you know, you just go there, click your button, and then you see like the numbers of who else is going really easily.
Dude, Discord made classic WoW so much more accessible because like before that you were on like fucking Ventrilo and shit like that. And like
baby.
imagine trying to get 40 people through Vent, dude. Fuck that noise. And then like all the like you can't moderate like this moderation stuff you were just talking about, Stan. You can't really do that in Ventrilo. So like that's awesome to me that Discord allowed like communities in WoW to actually do that.
So I just thought of something else funny, just in the general vein of communication apps. I'm going to give a shout out to a buddy I went to school with. Cameron went to school with us too. Guy named Daniel, really sharp guy. We were joking about Zoom and Teams and all the video conferencing stuff. And he joked like, dude, automated meetings are lame. What you really need to do is you just need to create an API where users can upload like wave files of sound clips, and then that's just how you do it. You just upload it like a sound file, FTP to a server, and then the students download it and they just upload back and forth. That's how apps used to be. And then Discord's like things like Discord come in and just completely revolutionize it. Because I've never used this Ventrilo thing that you guys are talking about. I imagine it was pretty punk rock when it came out though.
Yeah, it had the best sound effects.
Sound effects were a big thing.
Like just like the sound it made whenever you would like.
Oh,
I remember
like,
on
join a
TeamSpeak.
server. Yeah, all those sound things. I love it. Like the best one though, hands down, is the Halo 3 push to talk in like games above 4 people. Do you remember that sound, Fuzz?
Yeah, I do. It was like a it was like a blip. I cannot recreate
like
it, but yeah.
Any computer sound effects like that, but
and then the little icon would pop up at the bottom and it'd show you're talking. Yeah, that's
exactly.
So cool. And then when you're close to other people because it had proximity, their little white thing would be over their head, their little microphone.
Oh yeah, I love that.
When I was in TeamSpeak, well before Discord, I had a server and I would use the Duke Nukem guy, and he would announce when people would like come into your little, I guess, chat room. He'd be like,
Yeah.
"Player has entered," in the Duke Nukem voice. It was great.
So
For
that was
each
kinda what I was
name,
thinking of.
it would be different. Like,
yeah.
like literally, it would be like Fosman has entered.
I don't know about that one. I don't remember, but
Is that-
it'll at
Uh,
least let you know that somebody joined.
Yeah, I think it always just says player or someone.
Yeah.
Is it-
I've got balls of steel.
arena.
That's pretty cool though. Yeah. Too bad we don't have a little more of that in Discord, but oh well.
Let's get a
Well,
bot
if
for
We
it,
can
man.
probably
take
figure
on
it
it.
out, or there's
Yeah,
probably
it
already
is-
a bot made.
Yeah,
There's a
you
lot
guys
out
are
there.
right.
If you make me a bot that I have to use push to talk every time I hit the button, it makes that Halo 3 noise. I'll only use push to talk from now on.
Was there push to talk?
I can hear the
What was
sound
push to
too.
talk button on the? Was it?
It
like,
was the
it was on the
D-pad.
D-pad.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Was it
Right
up or
D-pad.
down?
Right.
I thought it
Right?
was up, Cameron.
I could be wrong, but I feel like it's right.
Let's
Oh, I
let's
wish
figure it out.
Someone look.
You can
Let's
be wrong.
figure it
You might
out.
be right.
You might be right, but I thought it like initially
I'm a-
I thought it was up.
I'm not a Halo guy, so I can't answer this question.
Up doesn't sound
not a
wrong
Halo
either,
guy.
is all I have.
All right.
Not-
Well, we know what we're talking about for the rest of this episode. What the hell?
We're a Halo stream. We're
I'll
social media Halo
I'll
stream.
be upstairs then. Let me know when you guys are done.
No,
Send
don't leave.
Send Lisa down. She'll talk to us.
That would be interesting.
All right, guys. Guest podcaster.
I want to figure this out, but I can't.
Yeah, I
You'll
Googled
launch
it
your
too. I couldn't find
360.
like a clip of it.
Be right back.
Is so are the 360 Xbox Live servers still up? Like, could I play Halo 3 matchmaking right now?
I'm
I
sure I
wanted
still have to sign in on my.
Yes, you can.
That's so lame because like they discontinued Xbox Live for the original Xbox. I feel like when
Yeah.
did they shut that down? Because I feel like not 2006. I feel like the 360 has gotten a little bit longer lifetime. It's a little unfair because like you remember when they finally shut down the Xbox Live servers for like Halo 2 original, and there were like two guys who were so big into the game that they knew it was coming, so they just stayed in a custom game.
Up on directional pad team chat.
Yeah.
They just stayed in the game.
Yeah, so Microsoft was like, "Hey guys, Xbox Live is over like this Sunday at noon. We will we'll let everyone finish their games, but as soon as all the games are empty, we're shutting it off." So they just stayed. Like they created a new game and they just stayed in their lobby as long as they could until Microsoft kicked them out, and I think they gave them something too.
Probably.
They shut down the Wii store or something, and there was like this really long ongoing meme where this dude was just like day whatever of Microsoft's or Nintendo store because there's no more store on the Wii.
Yeah,
That's just
crazy.
It looks like all the different. I thought maybe you used a different because what
default layout.
default? Okay, yeah.
So yeah, it's up.
But it was the same on all. And then I was looking at like Reach, thinking maybe you were thinking about that, but it was also that. So.
There could
I
be
don't
another
know.
game out there. My memory's poop.
You're
sometimes.
wrong, Cam.
Oh,
so
Cam.
wrong.
Did the old Call of Duties have proximity as well? It did, right? But did it also have?
It had proximity if you had the eavesdrop perk. You could hear the other team.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
That was in like the first Modern Warfare and the second one.
Call of Duty 4. Yeah. So the best thing about Call of Duty's voice chat is that when you kill somebody, you can hear them for like 2 seconds. Oh, it's bullshit. Like, fuck you. That's what I was
Fuck
just-
you, bitch.
I just love to yell stuff at people. Like, it's so
Pussy.
funny, especially in gunfight because it's so personal. Like 2v2 fights. Of course, you want to sit there and shit talk. Like,
Oh yeah.
it's so funny.
Part of the game.
It is. They even had a 1v1 gunfight where they just let you have open talk to the other player the whole time. So they're influencing it.
Yeah, that's
Even like in the match.
That's just breeding toxicity at that point.
For sure. I mean, it's
Well, here's the direction.
I was
I think
pissed
this
at a kid the other day. Sorry, go ahead, Stan.
Well, I think this conversation was destined to devolve into this, but now this has got me thinking about PUBG All Chat.
oh,
I
don't even
miss
bring I miss
that.
it so much.
In the
Sure.
lobby, man. Why'd they get
Shoni
rid of
Ma, Shoni Ma, China number one.
it? And then you had some kid like on Erangel, like snake crawling like down the runway, and he'd be like, "I'm a snake, follow
Yes.
me." And
Oh.
then the entire lobby would be fucking.
Yes, I
crawling.
forgot about those. Those were the fucking best.
The guy was so funny. Why did they get rid of it?
Because it was toxic as fuck.
But it was awesome.
great.
I'm a snake.
China number
follow me.
one.
I'm a snake. Follow me.
So
Oh,
they replaced that with like now you can use your quip. No, I'm thinking of Apex Legends. That's off topic.
no, they don't have anything in pub now. So I mean, they still have proximity chat, so you can talk to other
Yeah.
people when you're in game.
Yeah. you
So
have
like,
to- you
it's
have
so
turn it
funny to
on.
run into a house and go "Roo," start barking like a dog. But like, no, it's the first like until you jump out of the plane. I'm pretty sure you're muted to everybody but your team. So no, that was another thing. I totally forgot about that in pub because we used to just run into houses barking and yelling, just being absurd. It's gonna take because it would take away, so it would distract you so much. You're not listening to footsteps. You're listening to this dumbass kid run up the stairs barking. Like, why not?
Why is this person barking at me?
Tactical advantage.
Yeah, and then boom, shotgun. Like, hell yeah. I want to play pub now.
Kim, do you remember that one match we queued? I think it was like one of the special big time events or one of the special big teams.
Halo Big Team Battle.
Not Halo, in PUBG. It was PUBG. I think it was like 8-man squad.
I remember that.
Wow.
Yeah, 8-man squad. That took me a long time to get to that. To remember.
What was that like? 8-man squad.
That was
fun.
wild.
Well, that one time we got matched with this little this gal, I don't know. She had a really high pitched voice and she sounded really young and squeaky. And I don't think she spoke English. And she kept calling Cameron Big Brother. And we all got annoyed of her. So we took her to a house outside of the circle. And Cameron cornered her in a room and then just stood in the doorway until the circle killed her. And he out healed her as she died.
Like,
That was what All Chat led to. That was.
yeah, that
And
was.
I mean for shooting some guy who can't drive in the head.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
toxic.
that's worse.
This guy's toxic.
No,
I love body blocking.
I vaguely remember that now, but that was like that
I
would have had to
wasn't
have been
there for
before you
that.
could jump out windows. Like you had to be good at jumping out windows,
No,
get out windows.
It was
Yeah,
a
you had to like
bedroom
crouch
that,
and
like-
jump at the same time.
There's
Mhm.
some rooms that have windows that are too narrow to jump out of.
Oh
in
yeah,
pub.
that too.
I think it was one of those.
Either way,
Is
it's
there
so
still
fun.
body blocking in PUBG?
Oh yeah,
Oh yeah, 100%.
See, I love like that mechanic in games. I body block people all the time and use it like effectively.
Cam
Like if
uses it pretty
someone's
well
trying to
too.
get through a door in Apex, or like if I'm a big character in like Overwatch and one of my little DPS or healer characters is hurt, say I'm like Roadhog, I will stand in front of somebody as Roadhog and just body block.
Yeah.
I love that mechanic.
That was a big mechanic in Apex. I remember like
Oh,
season
yeah.
1. That was what you did when you got down. You ran to the door so you could block them out, and then your teammate could res you, and they had to start meleeing the door.
I saw this one post on the Apex Legends like Reddit thing, and it was like the circle was closing. This guy got down. He had a golden shield. He was the last guy. There was no one else. He had the golden shield, so he didn't just die immediately, you know. And they were in a doorway, and he went down and he blocked the whole team, and they just got roasted, and then he won down because he was body blocking. It was
Fuck
awesome.
yeah.
I love it.
I just love that there's so many people who play the game. Plus, I've played it a lot, so there's been a lot of different games. There's just so many scenarios out there that have happened in it. Like,
Oh yeah.
if it's crazy enough that you can think of it, it's happened.
Now, are
Like-
you talking about pub or Apex?
I'm
Here,
talking
just-
about
Anything.
any game
Yeah.
and the
Any
world in
VR
general,
like that.
especially video games though, because it's just over and over and over again. Like,
And then you see those moments, and then you're like, man, I wish I had Like I
Yeah.
look back and I'm like, dude, I feel like I don't get as many of those moments. Like I'm just like playing the game. I feel like a lot of those people are maybe trying to go for those plays
Crazy
so they can post it. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh no. After I see stuff like
And then
that,
like a million times it didn't work out. Go ahead.
yeah.
sorry.
Every time I see a car from a way off distance, I'm just being stupid. I'll rip a shot off just in case. Like,
Mhm.
why not? Because then if you hit it, it's like you do have a cool ass clip. And most of the time when you watch those clips, those people go, "Oh my gosh!" because they finally did it. Because that's what I
Yeah.
do or I've done when I pull off a really cool shot that I didn't really expect to hit.
You miss 100% of the shots you don't take.
Michael
This is
Scott.
true. Michael Scott, Wayne Gretzky.
I thought
Yeah.
Yoda said that.
Yeah, no, he said it too. I'm pretty sure all those guys said that at the same time.
I'm pretty sure everyone ever said that.
Yeah.
Hang in there.
Yo, that actually reminded me. I don't know if and I don't even play Battlefield 4 a lot, but I don't know if like Zidane knows this or like
my
seen this.
God.
But there was this one play I saw like way long ago. This guy got launched somehow in his car, and then he like killed the fucking helicopter with like a rocket launcher in the air, and then he like somehow was able to not die from like the fall and everything, just like land perfectly like
Yeah,
on the car or
there's a
something
lot
like
of
that.
that. Yeah.
It was so cool.
So if
Dude.
if your own team member uses C4 and you run over it and they blow you up, there's no friendly fire or while you're in vehicles, so you will go straight up in the air. There's one clip on Goldman Railway where a tank gets launched in the air. It does like a barrel roll, and a jet flies by, and he fucking shoots the jet out of the air, and then the tank lands and drives off. You're like, only in Battlefield, man.
That's amazing.
Only in fucking Battlefield.
Dude, I love those clips because there's the ones where people are getting chased by a jet when they're in a jet. So they
Mhm.
eject, turn around, snipe the guy, and then get back in their jet.
Yes.
It's or I've seen them fucking swap jets. They'll kill somebody and then get in the other jet.
Yep. So they can't spawn in it. Yep.
It's
Ooh.
insane.
Yeah.
Hey guys, I've got a. I'm sorry. Go ahead and finish that in. But I got inspired by a pretty good question I wanted to ask you
Oh,
guys.
I got nothing else, but Battlefield 4 is amazing. DICE, EA, just remaster or remake whatever you got to do to that game, and don't make whatever the next Battlefield is. That's all.
Five-
They're remaking Mass Effect, so maybe that's next on the list. God, I'm so excited for that. Did you have anything else you wanted to add to that, Cameron? You were kind of talking to. I didn't mean to interrupt.
Nope. Solid.
Okay,
I'm
so
good.
I just wanted to ask you guys then, because we were just talking about it just now. In what games are like vehicles good and like bad? Because like I remember like, not to bring it up because I didn't even play it, but like in Fortnite, like they added like all that shit and like people didn't like it, like the mechs and shit like that. And like I feel like if they added any sort of vehicle in like Apex Legends, that game would be fucking awful, right? So like
100%.
what is it? Like, because in Halo it's fucking amazing.
So, oh, you go ahead, Cameron.
Well, I mean, just to say, like, it's very hit or miss in games on what vehicles are fun and stuff. So, like, I think Halo did vehicles phenomenally, but it's got to be on the controller. It's got to be on the
So-
controller in Halo. But then you have like PUBG. I think that if you can drive them in third person, the Dacia is one of the most fun things to drive around, and so is the motorcycles and doing backflips.
Mhm.
But then a game that does it really bad every time is like Call of Duty.
Oh, 100%.
Worst vehicles ever.
It
They're
doesn't
so
feel like you're
clunky.
driving a vehicle. I don't know.
No,
There's no physics to it. It's just going.
it's just
weird.
and you like rip and swarm. I don't know. Battlefield does have some fun things to drive, but I mean they focus on that a lot. So I think if you focus on your vehicles more so rather than just having it something thrown in.
Like a half-assed
And, like-
thing, like
Yeah.
Call of
So like
Duty.
or like Fortnite, they added them later. But like he said, Foz said, if Apex added a vehicle, that would be the movement in the game is so fluid and good already that it's like, what the hell could you even do? Like, you don't need that's another thing. If you need the vehicle in pub Erangel, you need the vehicles to survive sometimes. Like it's a mechanic. Oh fuck, the circle's really far away. We need to find a car and get going. Like that's gonna be another very important part. So
It has to be a part of like the core initial design, is kind of what you're saying, Cameron.
exactly.
not
yes.
not an afterthought.
Yeah.
Yep.
So what I was gonna say, the first two things that kind of popped into my mind were the play area and then also the balance of the vehicles. So I feel like the reason the vehicles kind of flopped in Fortnite was because, yeah, they added it after the fact. And what I remember mostly is people complaining about how overpowered the mechs were. You could just hop in one, get away from any fight, soak any damage. Just it's a trump card.
I thought you could like one shot people with it.
You
too.
could be killed in it, Cameron, but that's kind of hard when they're like,
No, I said I thought it could one shot people.
Yeah.
oh yeah,
But like
Well,
Never played.
also in the Call of Duties, like you can fly around in a helicopter, but is there any way to combat that?
Yeah,
anything
ground
to do-
troops. Everybody's got launchers if you use them.
Okay.
But I'm not.
You can just shoot at it.
Well, I mean, look at Halo 3. I feel like one of the reasons Halo 3's vehicles are really cool is because they were really balanced. So like each team had a Banshee, or each team generally has a couple ground vehicles, a tank, and then like one or two air vehicles. So like I think Valhalla, everybody gets a Wraith,
Rank.
a Wraith, and a Banshee. A couple Mongoose spawn. There's ghosts out back. So like if someone gets in a Banshee, you can grab the missile pod, you can grab the Wraith, you can grab whatever and go after it.
You shoot a Banshee down with a Wraith, I'll be damn impressed.
Oh, I've seen it, bud. You got to get pretty close.
That's
You
a
can't
bad
do
the
it
person-
far away, but like,
Dude,
if you
a lot of
catch them
people
when
in
they're coming around the
Banshees-
corner-
a lot of people in Banshees, they don't know what they're doing. They just like kind of like beeline. They get up and they just beeline, so it's kind of easy to hit them. They're just like literally just straight down on you.
Just
almost.
swoop and bomb and get the hell out of there.
Yeah. Like a
people
barrel.
beeline to line up their shot. I don't know.
Scorpions
I feel
are
like it
pretty
works.
fucking insane.
They're overpowered.
Especially on Valhalla. So like think of this scenario. You're on Valhalla, you just get in the Wraith, you're kind of like over near your base, going around the tower. And like a Banshee's messing with you. It comes around, it goes around one side of the tower. I mean, you have a pretty good idea of where it's going to be. You're at the spawn, it's only like 50 feet away. I feel like that's a pretty reasonable shot for a Wraith.
Yes.
It'd be way better to have a tank. But I mean, you could also get the missile pod, or I think Hornets spawn on that map as well.
The best way to take down any vehicle in Halo.
Plasma pistol.
You guys know my buddy Pop Tart. We have spent many hours in Halo, like in Valhalla, where all we would do, we call it sporkas. All we would do, Sky Orcas were Banshees. We were dumb kids. And we would just fly around. You would have your plasma pistols, and the only way the person in the Banshee could kill you is to splatter you. So that's the only way you could get points in the game, was to splatter somebody with a Banshee. So they'd fly at you, you'd shoot them down, and then you had the time to, hijack them. Then it was your turn to be the Banshee. Oh, it was so much fun.
That sounds.
Weren't you like immune to, like you couldn't, like you could only die to splattering, correct? Or no?
I feel like we died a lot getting kicked out of the Banshees.
Oh,
I wish we
okay.
could set it up that way. That'd been nice.
You can set it up that way. I
Have
played
We're
you
it.
dumb
guys-
kids. Dumb kids.
So
Dumb kids.
on the topic of Halo and vehicles and Halo games, has anybody here played Gun Goose mode on Halo 5?
So we
So
played Halo 5 in this lobby.
I have never played
so
it.
I played it on the Master Chief Collection. It's like a kind of a special event, but it's like a permanent playlist. But it's really unique because you spawn on a mongoose. It's capture the flag, but you spawn on a mongoose. You are always on it. You can't get off it. So it's just like drive over the flag and try to get it back. And I think you have like a guy with a rocket launcher on the back or something.
Hell yeah.
I don't remember exactly how it works, but I loved that game. That was like my favorite part of the Master Chief Collection multiplayer experience.
I remember you brought this one up, Stan, and I thought it was the Mongoose racing game where you had somebody on the back, but it's like something totally different. Yeah, I've never played that one.
Yeah, it's a thing.
The
Come on,
Mongoose,
boys. We'll play it.
Mongoose racing with infection. The zombies with a sniper in the middle of the map trying to shoot you off the map while you're trying to race everybody else. That was a cool Mongoose racing.
Yeah.
Mario Kart vehicles are really good to control.
Oh hell yeah! I always used the bike in like the newer ones because I felt like it was just better.
I haven't
I
played
don't
much
know
of
if
the
you
newer
guys-
ones.
Okay,
I'm
yeah.
a big N64 double dash kind of guy.
Double
Yeah, I didn't really
dash.
like it when they made different kinds of vehicles. I like in Mario Kart just make like a good, like in the old ones where it's just a good vehicle that everyone has the same one. But
Mhm. Your
that's
weight would
just
matter
my-
though in the old ones. If you
That
were
was- that
Bowser
was
versus
it.
Toad,
That
yeah,
was
I
it.
love that.
But you could rob if you're Bowser, you fucking boom, rob
If you full
people.
speed into somebody, yeah, you'll spin them out. You'll smoke them. Whoa! Yeah, I love that.
That's actually a pretty good
But, now,
transition.
but now with
Who
the
did
new
you
ones,
guys
you know, they got
play?
motorcycles and
You can fly, 0G,
all this crazy
underwater.
shit. I mean, you got to keep innovating to make it interesting. But
Yeah, but
That's true.
who's your guys' go-to in Mario Kart?
Character?
Yeah,
fucking
I
Yoshi.
play in the newer ones, all of them up like Double Dash and beyond. I loved Baby Bowser. I fucking love Baby Bowser is one of my favorite characters in all of Nintendo. I fucking love that guy.
He's just a little asshole.
I know.
It's fantastic.
Yoshi's Island.
I am a
yeah.
Donkey Kong guy.
Donkey. I'm not a heavy guy. Like even in like Smash
Donkey
Bros,
Kong,
I don't
care. I just like Donkey Kong. I played
Donkey
that on the N60 or not N64, the SNES as a kid.
I in the newer ones I like Shy Guy. I always thought Shy Guy was cool, but in the
He is
old
too.
ones, I always wanted to play Toad. I think my
Yoshi,
dad
man.
always took Toad.
In the first one, I always played Yoshi, and then, like I said, Baby Bowser for life after that.
I
So
think I played Luigi a lot. I don't remember now.
what I want to say it was was Mario Kart 8 the release Mario Party or Mario Kart title for the Switch?
Yes.
Was that the first time they introduced like the paraglider with like the tilting thing?
They
No,
had Mario-
because
played
they
the
had it for the
Switch
Wii U.
now.
Yeah, as I say, Mario Kart 8 was on the Wii U
Okay,
as
so
well.
like who played that
Me.
on the Wii U?
Yeah.
Why?
I got one
Yeah.
behind me. I showed it.
So mine's right there too.
It's a cool
brought that up
system.
because every time I bring it up, I'm like, "Oh, do you guys remember the Wii U? It's not that cool." And then
Dude,
it's
I
like, "Oh
played-
yeah, I have one." Like,
It
"Oh, that's
is
so
cool.
funny."
I
Like,
played
I'm
through Breath
only
of the Wild
interested-
on the Wii
It's
U.
funny.
Me
that you have
too.
one.
It's cool.
You played Breath
Yeah.
of the Wild on a Wii U?
I played
It's-
through the whole thing.
It's the
On
first
Wii U.
How do you
Nintendo
do that?
system to go HD, man.
What'd you say, Stan?
HD, like 1080p?
HDMI plugins.
Yes.
Oh,
HD cord. Bam. First one to have it.
HD cord. Wow.
Fancy.
They
Yeah,
were,
'cause
they were a
the
little
Wii
behind,
was
yes,
Composite.
but they didn't
yeah.
need it.
Well, so fun fact, the Wii was actually built on almost identical components to the GameCube. It was basically like the same thing.
But
Explains why you
This
can read
play-
GameCube discs.
disclaimer about Breath of the Wild. I played the whole thing on a TV while using the big ass controller,
The
I remember-
gamepad.
the gamepad.
Oh,
I remember when they first hyped that fucking thing or Zelda on it, they were like, "You're not gonna have any HUD. Your map, your items, your health, everything's gonna be on the gamepad." And then that was not the scenario. Like the gamepad did no interaction other than if you tap the screen, it would drag it back to your screen rather than the TV screen. Like it was so disappointing.
What?
Yeah,
don't
I wish I could
remember.
have like
So
selected items from there or like healed rather than going to my inventory, open the
Mhm.
map without stopping the game. It would have been a lot cooler.
Yeah, that sounds really freaking cool. Like, so from that angle, the Wii U sounds cool because how nice would it be to take all of like the like UI stuff off of your main display, put it somewhere else?
They did cool things with it. There was a game called it's renamed itself now and it's on a lot of things, but it was called Zombie U.
Mhm.
And someone would play with like a controller and they would run around and they just had to like make it through the level or something. But the person with the gamepad would have the
Mhm.
map on the gamepad and they could drop in where they wanted zombies to be. So then they could kind of control the game from the gamepad while the players who were sitting next to you, because it's couch co-op, good job Nintendo,
Yeah.
would be trying to go through the level. Like so you were the challenge. It's like Left 4 Dead Infection, like Zidane has been talking about a lot lately.
versus.
Versus
That is
sorry.
really cool. And so that do you remember for the Nintendo DS how like every game wanted to integrate the mic on
Yeah.
the DS? So
Were
like
you aware of that?
Nintendogs, you had to like blow into the mic on your DS for some like stupid reason. I watched a video. There's a YouTube channel I follow. It's like Outside Extra
out.
/ Outside Xbox. I really like those guys. They did a video about like
I like
all
those
the weird mechanics like that you use, and I think they had like a whole video just on like the times that you had to blow at your DS for different games.
It sounds so stupid.
It's so stupid. Or like, I really wish I remember specifically what game this was for, but there was one where like part of the story is that you have to go wake this guy up, and the only way to do it was actually to like be like a certain level of loud in real life on the mic. So it didn't give you any indicator that you just walk
be
up to this
screaming in
character.
your room.
So like I imagine that feature's there to frustrate you to the point of like screaming, and then it works.
What sane person is just gonna yell at their thing though? I guess you could like
You've never
rub it
shouted.
really hard. I mean, I have.
I
but-
yell all the time at little kids.
You ever been like, dude, fuck this, and just toss it?
Fuck this.
Dude, I've tossed a console or a controller on the couch and walked away from it a couple times.
I hate
We've all
motion
been there.
controls. Now that you kind of bring up the whole
Mm.
gimmicky like control thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, like Splatoon for like the Switch, it wants you to like tilt your stuff to aim, and no, I
Yeah.
don't want any of that. Get rid of it. I don't want to
Ugh.
tilt anything.
Breath of the
So-
Wild did that with the bow.
I
You could
know
shut
it's
it off.
fucking horrible.
You shut
The
it off.
Ocarina of Time port for the 3DS was like that too, and it was awful. Cause like, so the only time I ever use my 3DS is if I'm traveling, because it's portable, right? So like I'd be in a car and like trying to shoot something, and like we'd hit a bump and I'd shoot the ceiling.
They say that I've heard a lot of people say that Skyward Sword is better or just as good, if not better, than Ocarina of Time.
Apparently, I
But-
need to play it.
Yeah, but I'm pretty sure the whole time you're like swinging a fucking Wii controller around to swing your sword.
You are.
So that it's got to be really good if someone could stand to play like a 40 to 60 hour Zelda game,
Swing
whip it
your
around.
arm.
Yo, I couldn't imagine. Like that's
Sounds
I really
exhausting.
I want to find a copy of Twilight Princess on the GameCube. I'm pretty sure it's really expensive now. But
80,
it's-
$80 plus.
oh, it's not bad. So you can play without having to swipe because that was another Wii release, and it's like who wants to sit through a whole Legend of Zelda game swing in your hand?
Yeah.
It's not VR. I can sit
I don't
through.
know.
I was gonna
I can
say if they went fully immersive VR where I had to hold my shield too. Yeah, all right, I'll do that. But I have to like walk around with an analog stick and then swing my arm when I want to hit something. No thanks.
Yeah. So do you guys what do you think of the Wii then? Because that's kind of always been Nintendo's thing. They're not like the latest and greatest.
I like the
Excuse me,
first
guys,
one.
I'm sorry. They're not always the latest and greatest in gaming technology. Like they don't come out with high def content. The Switch, I don't think the Switch is even 1080p. Is it? It's
Yeah,
like
it is.
720. It
When
is
it's plugged
1080p?
in, It's 1080,
When it's handheld, it's 720.
but plugged in, it's
1080.
Boys, that bitch is 720. Like
In
I mean, even
handheld
if-
mode,
that's what it's for.
no, it's not. Lizzie played the shit out of.
you put that shit in your dock, you grab the Joy Cons, and you play your game.
She
I'm
never
only
played-
giving it credit for the worst it can do.
Okay, fair enough, I guess.
That is fair.
No, it's not.
No, it's
No,
No.
it's not. Anyway,
Fuck it.
continue.
Oh, I've already lost my train of thought.
Good.
So, like going back to the N64. So, even with the N64, even back then, they were trying to, like, they did that weird 3-prong controller thing with the idea of like, oh, it's kind of like 2 controllers in one because you can like, if you hold it this way, you have an analog stick. If you hold it this way, you have a dumb pad or like a thumb pad and button panel.
We're talking
Yeah,
about the
I'm
Wii controller.
Well, no,
N64.
the N64 controller,
Oh.
and then on to like the GameCube, which,
Greatest controller ever
if
made.
I remember correctly, that was the first controller with the dual stage triggers, which again was implemented really well in a lot of games. Because I tried playing through Wind Waker on Dolphin, and I was using an Xbox controller, and it didn't have dual stage triggers, and it made it awful sometimes.
I thought the original 360 controllers did have it.
I don't
Because
know.
I didn't
So
think
can you explain what dual stage is for anyone who doesn't know?
So dual stage is basically your lever on the back of the controller has a travel, and then at the end of that travel, it stops, but you can click it like a button again. So it's like you have the whole range of motion of the trigger, but then when the trigger hits the end of its range of motion, you can push it just a little bit farther to activate it like a button. So I think the way they used that in Wind Waker, how did they use that?
I don't remember. It's been too
Either.
long.
I remember I used it, I want to say in
Fantastic
like
game
the Shadow Temple was where it was really important because you had to shoot something like in a particular spot, and it was really hard for me because like I had analog sticks that were mapped to like keyboard buttons through Dolphin, and I didn't have dual stage controllers, so it was bad.
Sounds horrible.
I think like the PlayStation never had that until like this next PlayStation 5. Like I'm pretty sure PS4 controllers don't have that.
Give me a second. Let me check.
But
He's gonna go grab it. Dude,
I
the
don't think
Steam
there's
controller had them.
I don't think there's like an initial click on most controllers though, so it'd be hard to
I'm gonna
tell.
go grab my Steam controller. I'll be right back.
Those things went for $5 a piece.
No,
But-
sir.
Yeah, I really don't think the PlayStation is, but the Xbox 360 I'm pretty sure had it, and so did the Xbox One.
This is not dual stage.
So here I went and got mine. This is definitely dual stage. So I mean I traveled down. I guess there's no good way to show this. Traveled down, and then it stops about there, and then it clicks. So there's like a soft resistance kind of at the end.
I don't think the Xbox Ones click because the reason I know for sure that the Xbox 360 ones have it is because that plasma pistol, it was always so cool, and I feel like Foss was there for one of these times. You could always like go to like somebody you knew didn't know, or you'd just be like, "Hey, watch this." You could charge up a plasma pistol at them, and if you let go slowly enough, you would stop charging the plasma pistol. Like it would
Really?
not shoot. It would just stop.
Dude, I didn't know that.
I think I did that to you in Master Chief Collection.
Dude, you wiped me a Master Chief Collection. I probably didn't even realize.
Yeah, that was really cool because you could just slowly let off, and you had to do it really slowly, but it would cancel your charge.
I always like Melee or something. I literally had no idea you could do that.
Does Melee even actually
13-year-old game.
No, Melee would shoot it, but I love little. So one of my favorite things about any sort of game is like the niche mechanics that they allow you to do in the game, like Melee cancel reload as like on it in Overwatch, and just little stuff like that improves your gameplay and kind of sets you apart from like other people. Also, like another example, just because I'm like thinking about Overwatch again, is like, and I played a lot of Ana for a couple seasons, like especially at the beginning, but like. If like a Genji came at you, you know how Genji can deflect, but
Yeah.
like you use but she has a sleep dart. So I would melee and it would look like I'm going to shoot my sleep dart, and then they would deflect, and then I would actually sleep dart them after the deflect was over.
Total fake out.
Yeah. So it's just little stuff like that I really like.
That is really cool. I don't know. I think Nintendo kind of has a reputation for doing the most in that category. Of like really consistently trying to revolutionize the gaming experience through the way you interact with it at every release.
Yes, that is
Nintendo
definitely
never
what they
really-
do.
So like, I mean, if you look at like Xbox, PlayStation 5, like I don't know why there's ever news about the new Xbox or PlayStation 5 controller, because they normally look pretty much the same. Like the
Right?
Xbox Series X controller looks like the Xbox One controller, but flat. Like there's less detail at the top. There's like that little notch that's recessed. That's not there on the Series X. That's the only difference.
I definitely thought that I definitely thought that the one was a regression from the 360 controller. So like the 360 upgraded obviously from the normal one because it was too big, it was too clunky, and it had like, I don't know, sometimes like the buttons in the middle, like I got small hands, so I struggled to get to them.
I got
But,
small
like-
hands.
So pause. I'm sorry
Like-
to interrupt, but if I can
Yeah.
stop, will you clarify? Are you talking about the Xbox original Duke controller or the S series controller that came out later?
For the original Xbox,
Yes.
to be honest, I couldn't tell you. I would say just the general like because I don't know the difference of like what you're asking right now. So like I would say just like the general Xbox, like original Xbox controller.
So I've already packed mine up, but the original Xbox controller was nicknamed the Duke, and it was the huge one. That was the release console one. But the one that you're probably talking about, so like the most common controller in I think this region was the Xbox Series S. It was like the slightly smaller revision.
That made sense.
Okay.
Black and white keys. Those are so weird. The original Xbox controllers had a white button and a black button. Yeah. And the white button in most games would turn on your flashlight, which was really cool.
Yeah, I liked that. Yeah, like in Halo with the white one. See, those are what I was talking about. Those are what I have trouble getting to because I got small hands. And but yeah, I thought that the Xbox One was definitely a downgrade from the 360. So yeah, man,
I like the Xbox One controller a lot.
Yeah, so do I.
One of my favorite controllers.
I mean, I think the Xbox 360 controller was cool,
for sure,
but
I think the 360 controller feels funky now.
Yeah, I don't.
Yeah, the backplate thing that you just did is the worst design of the Xbox One controller. If it had the same pack as the 360, then for sure. But I really just like, I don't know. My biggest complaint, they could take the Xbox One controller, take out the RB and LB buttons, and give me like the PlayStation RB and LB button, or just a different RB LB. Original Xbox 360 controller RB LB. There's just something about them that I'm not a huge fan of.
I think
or you can just use a PlayStation 4 controller.
No, I like the offset sticks. Is that your favorite? What's your favorite controller? So Zidane uses no controllers. He is very against him. Played through Dark Souls like a madman without on keyboard mouse.
Still do.
What is your favorite controller?
Well,
other than GameCube.
GameCube number 1, PlayStation 4 number 2.
I was gonna. If you said something else, I was gonna say between my next two, you had to pick between Xbox and PlayStation because I wish they made
PlayStation 4 number 2.
As in like number 2 in my list.
Yeah.
PlayStation, GameCube controller, or any version of the GameCube controller, because after the GameCube, it was released for like every Nintendo console for obvious reasons.
I wish I love that Steam tried their hand at the Steam controller or whatever, but like I wish people made, and I think they do, but none of them are very popular. But a controller made specifically for the PC, like not saying I want trackpads, but I want like something that integrates as well as the 360 controller does or the Xbox controllers do.
I think Astro's tried a couple of times. I haven't used any of their stuff.
That's what I was referring to, and they get really expensive too.
They do, like $150 plus.
Yeah, so maybe I need to try one out, but like. I definitely just have to hold one first before I ever spend that much money on a controller.
So I was going to say
Elite Series controllers are
these Astro controllers.
I don't know anything about these Astro controllers, but there is a Steel Series Stratus PC gaming controller that I see pretty often that I've always thought looks pretty high quality. I've always thought about trying it out, but I never really have.
I wouldn't get a whole lot of use out of it.
That's what my mouse is.
I have no problem with
Steel Series.
The 360.
Who makes Steel Series? Is that Razer?
I actually don't know.
Are they just their own thing?
They might be their own thing.
Yeah, I think they are their own thing. I really like Steel Series though, for the most part. I think they make really good stuff.
Yeah, I mean, just looking at this controller, it looks like pretty high quality, but
their controller might be a miss, but like their other stuff, like their pads and whatnot, like I need to buy a new mouse, boys.
Steel Series.
Android too.
No, buddy. I really like my.
How much?
$50.
So
my Logitech one, the one that me and Logan both have.
Pro wireless.
I have a $20 RGB mouse from a brand called Red Dragon. It's great.
Red Dragon, I like.
That's Amazon budget.
Hey, my keyboard is the budget Red Dragon one. I like it a lot. It's small and it works.
Is it the Amazon Basics?
Oh, I can't.
Basic, that as well be. That was like my first purchase of.
I like it.
Yeah, except it's red.
It's red.
That was like the first thing I ever bought for my computer was Red Dragon stuff. It was cheap.
Really?
It worked good though. I even
Oh.
bought another mouse after my first Red Dragon mouse broke. I thought it was really good.
Everyone knows
now-
our RGB adds like 20 FPS.
For sure.
No. The effect depends on the color. Blue makes it faster. No, blue makes it cooler.
Okay.
Green makes it energy efficient, and
Red makes it FPS. Okay.
But if you just put it in rainbow mode, you get a little bit of everything.
Oh, I get that makes sense.
So
Okay.
like, I probably had the fastest keyboard in this whole chat.
The fastest keyboard in all the West. I tell you what. So I'm really proud of us, by the way, guys, because we've talked for an hour and I haven't even brought up anything. We've just been ripping,
That's
and
what we do, man.
that's what podcasts are about.
We've been rambling.
But
However, if everyone is good, I would like to get to our first question, courtesy of Zidane, because I think it's a really good one.
oh,
What are we playing
I-
this
I-
week?
I don't even know what the question is.
I know you
So-
don't.
I know what Cameron just said. I think we were all a little excited for the "What's everyone playing" this section thing.
Look at Zidane. He's excited.
Go.
But I'm also
What are you playing, Stan? Go.
me.
Yeah, you brought it up.
lightning
Go.
round. Lightning round. Lightning
Oh,
round.
we're starting with me. Okay, so I'm playing Space Engineers. I built the HRD Inquisitor. It's very big. It has a lot of hydrogen tanks. I took it to
Gonna
Mars.
go on a crusade.
No. I tried to fly it in Earth, but it was too heavy and it crashed. So I took it down to like 50% gravity just outside the atmosphere and idled it. And I can fly ships from Earth back to that. But that out of the way, big life event for me. I shut down the Minecraft server that's been running out of my server rack for like
Wah,
a
wah.
year and a half.
At least, yeah.
End of an era.
Funny story, I used to rent a server from a virtual private server host. And one day Cameron was like, "Why do you rent a server?" And I told him why. He was like, "Think you could run Minecraft on that thing?" I'm like, "Well, yeah, bud." So I
Yeah, bud.
I
Yeah.
started running a Minecraft server on this thing, and he joined. Then a couple other people joined. And eventually there were so many people on it that I had to bring it back home, put it on a physical server. So I actually had the performance for it. And it's just been running. I mean, I did it before I moved into this apartment, and I've been here for over a year now. So
I'd say it's
I mean,
probably
that-
close to 2 years.
yeah, 2 years ago, I had a bitch in castle
I know you did.
and a bitch in house.
Big.
Yeah, mc.bornstellar.me is die. Sorry, everybody.
Alt F4.
I had to share that with everyone. I alt forward the server.
Hope
Like I
that one
said,
day-
man, end of an era.
What are you
obviously,
playing,
I
Cam?
hope that sorry. Obviously, I hope one day that this becomes a popular thing. But I hope it's so popular that thousands of people come back and watch this, and then they just go try to join Stan's Minecraft server, and we're using it again.
That would be so cool, dude. I would
But
love
then they just
that.
grief it all. They'd be like, "Oh, fuck, those 8-bit opinion guys are idiots. Let's go." play
Dude,
this."
I honestly, I would fuck, man. I don't care if people like me or hate me as long as they know me.
Yeah, we're taking backups. So it doesn't matter.
Let's just
What
make
about-
a proof server.
Yeah, you can.
Every day.
What have you played?
I've been playing Battlefield 5. Weirdly enough,
Really?
played it a hand. Yeah, I've been getting into it. The STG 44.
Even though I didn't just shit all over it.
I know the STG 44 has been so much fun to use,
It's probably one of the better ones.
and then the reason I downloaded it is because I really wanted to use the SMLE, but I don't think it's in 5. It was definitely in 1, but when I played 1, that's all I used. It was one of my favorite guns.
Isn't that the first sniper rifle you get?
I pre-ordered it or something on like the console before I started playing on the computer,
Who the
and
fuck does that?
right, dumbass, I'm an idiot. But I only used it on the console, and it like came with my pre-order. Like I got that gun, so I don't think it was the first. It could have been. I might have got like a fancy skin for it, but it was awesome. I just really wanted to snipe also on top of the SCG, but I don't even remember the name of my sniper. Not that memorable.
This makes me want to go download Battlefield 4.
Yeah, let's do it. I still have mine installed.
I
It's like a
Probably not.
Left 4 Dead. You don't install it. Don't. Why you of all people should say don't uninstall that.
know, but
So another game that we've now played that you can't uninstall. It's something that has to sit on your hard drive.
it has
Left 4
been
Dead
there.
2. Yeah, mine's on there too. I didn't have to download it.
I've never
um,
uninstalled it.
Left 4 Dead 2. Awesome game. Zidane's way more into it than I am now, but they released new content. How many 9-10 years later for it? So we
Yeah,
had to
like a
try
couple
that
weeks
out.
ago.
Yeah, so we went and tried it out, and it was really good. It was short. I wish it would have been a 4-part instead of a 2-part, but it did feel
It felt
very
like
much
Left 4
so
Dead.
like it felt like Left 4 Dead. It wasn't, but they did add a little bit more of newness to it. Like I'm sure there's other parts where you had to find gas, but like the crane lifted up and dropped it and made a new zone. Still very Left 4 Dead. Still very 10-year-old game, but it holds up so well.
It was community content that was created, that was signed off by Valve.
Oh, that's awesome! I didn't know
Yeah.
that. I thought
That's really cool.
I was like, hey, I like that. Sure, it can be a part of the game. Here you go.
I wonder. I mean, I think bragging rights enough would almost be worth that, but I wonder if they got compensated for that somehow,
I would assume. I don't know.
I would assume not.
or at least jobs, maybe.
Maybe get looked at for the future. Like that happens a lot of the time with like I remember Bungie like hired a couple different content creators for Destiny who were
Mhm.
big into Halo and Destiny, and they used them for like play testing and whatnot. So it definitely puts you on the radar. Blizzard's done the same thing as well in the past.
That is good on your resume.
Yeah.
I had
If
Valve
you're trying
come
to
out of the
get into
shadows.
that, yeah.
Yeah, I had Valve come out of the shadows and update a game from 10 years.
Valve crawled out and what's the main guy's name of Valve? Like it's eluding me
Gabe
at the
Newell.
moment. Gabe Newell crawled out from the shadows and noticed me.
Lord
Sorry,
Gaben.
this is lightning round.
Yeah, what are you playing, Zidane?
Well, Cam already said one of the games. It's Left 4 Dead 2. I enjoy playing with you guys and like the campaign and stuff, but what really got me into Left 4 Dead 2 after I played all the campaigns was the versus mode. It's where you can play against 4 survivors, and then you are 4 infected, and it rotates every time you die, and there's like a 20-second timer for respawn.
How does the zombie? I don't mean to interrupt you, but how does the zombie selection work again? Because I don't remember.
It's
If
random.
you're- Yeah. Okay.
So you die, and you like, if there's like a charger and a spitter and a smoker, you know, you can be a hunter or a jockey.
I love the hunters. It's so fun.
Hunter and the spitter is actually like the sleeper like special infected, because if someone gets pounced or jockeyed or whatever, and then you know you spit on the ground, they're fucked, like straight, they're done. And
Little teamwork.
a lot of people don't do it anyway. And another game that I recently purchased that I've kind of been playing on the down low is Diablo 3.
Talking about it, I know you bought it.
I did buy it. I mean, it's only $20. I finished like the first like section
Chapter.
or whatever that they let you play for free. And I was like,
Mhm.
all right, how much is it? It was $20, so I bought it.
How far are you?
I don't remember. At the end of Act 1, actually. Sorry.
I'll play that with you.
I say reboot. We'll all go buy it right now.
Yeah, well,
Um,
let's all play. Let's all play Diablo. Also, I just want to ask you, Zidane.
Yeah.
Is Blizzard not just amazing with their cinematics? Like, I think some of the cinematics in, and I'm not gonna bring up any because I don't want to spoil it. But dude, some of them in Diablo 3 are so fucking awesome. Like, especially when Tyrael is in one, because he is just a badass.
He is. I like the game. However, I feel like it's
Sorry.
fucking easy mode.
Yeah.
I feel like I just walk over everything, even bosses.
But you're
Right.
supposed to be constantly turning up the difficulty as you go through it.
Oh, you are?
Like, yeah, that's what we did because it was just stupid easy, and it was still even easy once you jumped up a difficulty.
Okay, well
like-
then I'm on normal. I thought I would get like more.
Yeah,
difficult.
normal is fucking
Oh.
like cake.
there's like pages of difficulty in Diablo.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Literally though. I mean, I bet there's probably 50 different difficulties or something like that. Like,
Hmm.
you remember that, Foz?
Yeah.
there's a
Well,
lot.
like you're talking about like the custom, like you can take something on to make it more difficult, correct?
No, well, I played on the
Because I
PlayStation,
remember. Go
so it might
ahead.
be different. I played on the PlayStation, so it might be different. Like,
I played on console as well.
but yeah, you just go into the menu, and it would like after so long, it would like unlock, and we'd get excited because we played like in a group of people. We'd be like, oh hell yeah, we can. Now,
But yeah, I'm
jump to the
a
next level.
demon hunter, and like one of my like left or right abilities on the mouse is like rapid fire. So I walk into a room, I hold down right click, murder fucking everything, and then walk into the next room, rinse and repeat. And I even do it to bosses. So I'm like, obviously I need to bump up the difficulty quite a bit.
Definitely. Or we all make new characters and we bring it up, we up the difficulty again, because that would
the
be fun.
mage.
I always tried to talk Jack into playing Diablo with me, but instead he just shit on the game and then went and played PoE, which is a better game. I concur, but
PoE, what is that?
Path of
Path
Exile.
of Exile.
That guy has like something like 600 hours in Destiny or something.
Really?
I thought you were gonna say Path of Exile because he's
Yeah,
writing
but
that a
you
lot too.
No, he has a ridiculous amount of hours.
He likes Destiny.
He really does.
But 600 hours isn't that much. I mean, I have almost 1,000 in pub now. Like,
Really. So I mean, I think the most I have in like a single game that's actually been tracked is probably Space Engineers, which is up to like 400 now.
are you sure you do not have more time in WoW Classic?
Yeah.
Slash play the Shaman and Mage. We'll see.
yeah.
I don't think I told you guys, but I also canceled my WoW sub.
As I say, I haven't renewed mine in like 2 weeks.
Oh my God! It's the end of another era.
I'm just
Yeah.
waiting for fucking Nax to come out. Honestly, I'm waiting for TBC to come out now.
Meanwhile, I redid mine because of the Shadowlands free patch that took forever. I think that was so cool, by the way. I know I talked about it last week, but the customization is just so good. And I love that the new time travel like leveling experience. So like I love that I can literally go anywhere and do kind of whatever I want if I make a new character instead of like a set path. I think that that's really fun. So yeah. Have you played anything else right now, Zidane?
Besides Genshin Impact, I mean, I kind of tapered off a little bit
My guy.
because I was into
gotta
that
play more.
I was into that pretty hardcore there for about a couple weeks. I've
Me
pulled
too.
it back a little bit, but other than that, that's all I've been playing.
I thought you were playing Fallout Shelter the other night.
Oxygen not included.
Yeah.
I mean,
Fallout
it's
Shelter.
I guess it's Fallout Shelter, but a lot better.
I know it's a lot different.
I know some people who really like Fallout Shelter, especially because I think like more casual gamers, I think they really enjoy it.
Yeah, you can just sit on your couch, put on the tube, play some Fallout Shelter.
Red Tube.
I mean,
Yeah.
if that's your thing, yeah. I mean, whatever.
I don't know if I could juggle those two things at the same time. I got to commit to one or the other. Jeez. So what I've been playing is I did play a little WoW, and then I was also trying to like I was trying to get my battle pass level all the way up in Apex. But other than those two things, which I've played like a lot of time and talked about, I also started the Jedi Fallen Order as like a huge Star Wars fan because I did just recently beat the KOTOR games, and I think it's really fun. I kind of agree with you guys about like the difficulty type thing. So I have it on the third Zidane, the third difficulty. I'm thinking about ramping it up one because
Go all the way, baby. Just do it.
yeah, I'm not really having fun with like. I feel like I'm worried though it's gonna be like a power spike. So like this one's too easy, and I'm gonna play on the hardest, and it's gonna be like stupid hard, like not fun hard. So like that's why I've said this before on the podcast. Like I really like a third option in difficulties most of the time, but yeah. So
The lightsaber battles on Master Jedi or whatever the top difficulty
Really
is.
good?
Yeah, it's
all right, that's all I needed to hear.
Two things. I forgot I've been playing a little bit Apex as well. I played that with Foz. That's been pretty fun. But dang Foz, I would play that game with you. Like I haven't played it yet. I own it. I have yet to play
Jedi
it.
Fallen Order?
I mean, I wouldn't play it with you, but I would play it alongside.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm down. Hell yeah.
How far are you?
Not very far at all. In
Sweet.
fact, I'll probably restart and like because I guess I'll get the achievement. Like I'll restart and play on the highest difficulty.
attaboy.
I'm on the highest difficulty, so now I have to.
It's really not too bad.
I
Can't be
better
bitch,
not.
huh?
It's like Dark Souls then.
So yeah, those are like basically the games I've been playing. So what I got from this this segment that you guys forced me to do is we're basically playing a lot of what we've already been fucking playing. So.
Battlefield 5.
No, you're right.
I
I'm just
played
I'm
Diablo
just teasing.
3. Like what?
Yeah, no, you're right. Diablo 3, Left 4 Dead. Well, we have played a little Left 4 Dead recently.
It's a tradition here on the 8-Bit Opinions podcast we talk about.
But you got it. You got it.
I'm sorry that I brought it up. I just like,
No.
How fucking dare you?
Don't be
And I was
sorry
like,
about anything.
man, I'm so excited to talk about that.
And I've been playing Morrowind. Come on, I haven't stopped that.
Yeah,
But
I've been
you
playing
didn't
Morrowind
even
too.
say that.
I know.
Man, this
I
is
have
the worst lightning round ever.
It is. We did this so fucking slow.
That's honestly why, 50 minutes. That's why I've always wanted to make a podcast with you guys, because we don't do lightning round stuff. We do prolong and talk about it, and I think that's a good thing a lot of the time.
But this is a good thing to lightning round though, because it's
Yeah.
We can't lightning round. It's fucking impossible.
It cannot be done for this group of guys.
This is long format media, boys. These are long boys.
So that's gonna I'm gonna bring up my first topic now, because like I said, Christy's idea is something I really wanted to talk about. And so it's basically like, if you could create like a video game, like your ideal video game, like what would that entail? Like what would it be? Like what genre would it be? Kind of, I know it's kind of a big question, so let it settle for a sec, but then like what genre would it be? And then like, what kind of mechanics, what kind of, like stuff, features, like would it have multiplayer, would it not, like, all those different things. Like what would you create
so
if you had the ability?
Well, shit.
I kind of have something in mind already.
That's a deep question.
Like,
I forgot I put that in there.
give me something like big open world, of course. Start there. I think that to have something that I would call like one of my best games is something I can explore and find new things of. So I'm really referencing back to Bethesda games now, like something similar to Bethesda, but in a bigger, even bigger than what they make. I feel like they could go bigger, but don't sacrifice the interesting locations if you're going too big.
Mm-hmm.
And then give me like that exploration, that sort of inventory, but maybe some Dark Souls type combat. Not Dark Souls in particular, but like a little more difficult than Skyrim. Like that's not fun combat. Like give me some variety. I love the variety in Elder Scrolls games. Like Morrowind, I've been mixing it up using bows, swords, and magic. Like implement that with some difficulty. Like that would be really fun. I really like just RPGs is probably my favorite genre.
I got a question for you then in regards to that. So like, and I'm curious about that because that sounds like a really fucking fun game that you just laid out. What would you do in regards to like character and story that would be better than Bethesda's? Because you're kind of referencing Bethesda with the open world stuff, and I feel like when you have an open world game, like characters and the storytelling starts to really, and like things start to feel bland overall, like in the world a lot of the time. Like I get that vibe so much in Skyrim that I just stopped. I end up stopped playing because I'm like in the same exact cave at the same time. None of the characters are really interesting. Like in like this, and like the storytelling is bad. So is there something that you could do in an open world game to like fix that aspect, you think?
So I can't not reference it because like I've said in here before,
I
love Dark Souls. I love Oblivion. Imagine how cool it would be, and to break it up and keep it interesting, if Oblivion gates were badass. Like everyone always jokes and says Oblivion gates were the worst part of the game. Imagine how cool it would be if Oblivion gates were the best part of the game.
So how
Like,
would you do that though?
I don't know. Make them randomly generated with cooler.
That's
It's
a
the
tall
combat.
fucking order, bud.
It is, but we're talking about our favorite, the best case scenario. Hell yeah. But like, imagine if it was really interesting to go in there. They were all actually unique and not just repeats of like the same spires where you had to do the same thing over. And if the combat was fun and there was like, have you heard of Chalice dungeons from Bloodborne?
No, I haven't.
So they were randomly generated dungeons that you could go in, and they would like give different bosses, and you would almost have like, I think the bosses would have like buffs and stuff, so they would be more of a unique fight than the regular fights. So do something like that at the end. You always fight a boss. That was something the Elder Scrolls games lack. Are big, cool boss fights. It was something that Dark Souls awesomely had. So imagine
you
every
sure
little
about
dungeon.
that?
Yes. Dragons aren't cool, or not that cool, especially not in Skyrim. So
I
going
agree.
down like into a really deep dark cave that took a long time, and at the end of the cave, you did see a giant crazy monster, and you had to fight it. Like that's so much cooler than just even if they repeated the monster, like the dungeon bosses, like in those like Chalice dungeons or like Oblivion Gate bosses were reused. Like that would be really cool to have to like accomplish something at the end. Not okay. Here's a dragon priest. He's gonna cast some magic at you. No worries. Like no, I want an epic battle at the end, and then some cool ass loot. Go out. Like
Yeah, I don't know. I
let me
feel
build
like
a house, and let me do it on VR. No, just kidding on the VR. But I want the option to.
The quality would fall off greatly with VR if you were to do it right now. But one
We're
thing I
not
wanted
talking
to
about quality. We're saying this is the best case scenario.
no, but I'm realistically like I'm also looking. I understand, but like I'm also looking at like kind of what we have like available right now. You know what I mean?
So,
Hold on, Cameron. I wanted to ask you something else about that when I was listening to you because I think it's a really good idea. I think one of the best ways. I think you literally hit the nail on the head. One of the best ways to make an open world game really, really cool is make a lot of interesting dynamic scenarios.
Right.
Like what you said with the Oblivion Gates and making them really fucking cool. Like make a bunch of different worlds, okay? So like this is like a little off topic, but it's like in the same vein. So like in WoW and like Legion, there was this thing called invasions. And you would go to different worlds, like where the Legion were invading. So it my point is that it was a bunch of different landscapes. They should do the same thing with like Oblivion. So like different landscapes, different areas that when you go into these Oblivion gates, it's not all the same thing. But if you made like a really fun dynamic mechanic like that in an open world, that's one of the best ways to make an open world game really like even more interesting because
Right.
you're just exploring and then you come across something. Go ahead.
So I want to say I didn't include.
fast.
Let me. I got before I lose this. I wanted. I'm so mad I didn't mention this game. A little bit of dynamic of Outward. Like Outward did open world so well. Like you could do what you want. It was literally open world. You start the game. You want to pay off this debt? No, you just want to leave and go do whatever you want. It's gonna be hard as hell, but you can do it. But I just finished the first quest and then I just explored every single area in the game. Went to every dungeon.
Yeah.
Got like the best armor set, and I considered the game beat. Like I went and did some quests with Brandon, but like mainly I just
It doesn't hold your
Or
hand.
everything.
It just throws you out there. It says good
not that
fucking luck.
that's the best case scenario. It's just it did exploring so well, and the reason I remembered it was because he said those different areas. So like traveling between two different climates, landscape, like different zones, it would say, all right, you need like 3 travel rations to make it there. So say you carried 7, you'd have enough to get across and back. So you have to plan your trips out from home because you only carry so much.
And there's
and
no
then
fast travel.
There's no fast travel, but I would want fast travel in my scenario. But
fast travel is good in open
Fast
world
travel
games, in my opinion.
to
That
those
was part of
edges,
it, though.
Once you
get to
have
the next thing.
once you have unlocked, so I think there should be no fast travel when you make like a new character in an open world game, and then as you progress and find places, then you can travel to them.
for sure. All right, I want to know what Sam was going to ask. I went on a tangent.
Well, I was just gonna say I really liked your idea about the Oblivion planes, and I have an idea on how you would do that. So, like in the lore, there are like different planes there are like different like planes of existence, one for each Daedric like prince or whatever. And there's like 16 of them, and they're all really unique. So while you were talking, I looked it up, and so there's like Realm of Oblivion, created by Hermaeus Mora, yada yada yada. That one's pretty cool. There's one
I
that's
feel like lore wise, some of them
Twilight.
wouldn't invade.
Lore wise, some of them wouldn't invade. True, but I mean, I'm just saying there is plenty of diversity out there in like the Daedric realms of Elder Scrolls series for really interesting and dynamic, like Oblivion Gate style interaction. So what if it's not even Oblivion Gates? What if it's just like, I don't know, this time all the Daedric princes got together and decided to bully Tamriel.
Sure.
You have to go to each realm and put each one in their place one by one. Or
I
maybe
always
you have to
thought-
go, maybe it's like a pilgrimage. So there's like a side quest where you have to like achieve in a certain certain status with each Daedric prince to get like a greater status at the end, and you had to fight your way to each prince and like give them an offering in their own realm,
Or just kill them.
or kill them.
So another question I had, Cameron, for your scenario here, what would you do about storytelling characters then? Because I think that's another thing that falls off with those type of games, and it's something you didn't address yet.
I think
Like,
I've
what do
said
you
it a
think?
lot of. I think I've said it in the past. I do love me a good story, but if the gameplay is there, I don't need a story. So I'm not complaining with the way that
So gameplay is
Bethesda
more
does.
important.
Yeah, but there in some
I
situations,
respect that.
some situations the story. I play a game for the story. I'll play a game for the gameplay. But the game scenario I'm making right now, I guess I'm playing it for the gameplay. But if they had something similar to the Elder Scrolls, then hell yeah, like that'd be fine for me for story. Like I don't have a complaint for the Elder Scrolls story. I like that it's very old video gamey, where it's like, all right, you got to take this amulet to Joffrey, and you gotta get this going. Like shit's going down. The Oblivion Gates are coming up. I'm gonna go be in the Thieves Guild and fuck off for 3 months of in-game time, and then I'll go talk to Joffrey after he's kind of he's gotten over the death hole a bit. Like you have that choice. I want a lot of choices of doing whatever I want. So I'll settle for some just standard Bethesda stuff where I get to pick my own dialogue options though. Like not Fallout 4 nasty. Like I want to pick my own options.
I got you.
Just be
I
trapped.
just like I always felt like in Skyrim, like I literally don't remember like a single character from that game because like
Right.
they're all really boring and bad, and the villain is bad, and like the whole game is just really not the game is bad, but the story and the whole, and like I really like a good story because I feel like it makes you like want to do what you're doing in the video game. So like for example with Mass Effect, just like one of my favorite video games of all time, like the stakes are really high and the story and characters are really interesting, and that makes me want to like keep playing the game. And that's kind of a transition into like what I wanted to say. Like one of my favorite games, like my ideal scenario, my dream scenario, if I were to make a game, would be a fantasy. So kind of like, Dark Souls, and I would probably choose Dark Souls because it's a little more dark, but then like a Dark Souls universe type story driven like RPG with like really good characters, like a party system for sure. So like you have NPCs and followers like in your party that you like befriend or make enemies, whatever, but like they're there with you. Good character customization, good class customization. So like I can be a bunch of different archetypes of a character, magic, stealth, and then even more so than that, because most games don't do it as well as they could. Like, what if I want to be like a warlock type magic character, or a mage, or maybe like an enchanter, like a knight, mage, something like that.
Yeah,
Like really good customization like that is definitely like part of my dream scenario. Go ahead.
like sorry I interrupted. The
You're fine.
Dragon's
Sorry.
Dogma Dark Arisen. You could really mix up classes. They had like a certain number of classes, and then each class had like 2 different paths you could take. So you could be a mage, or you could be a battle mage. You could be, but yeah, I just really like the example of like the different even types of magic. Like that's what another thing that Elder Scrolls does well is that you can create your own class. Because I like stealth, magic, swords, like and healing. It's a lot together, and bow and arrow. Like I don't know. You can make a class that's like that, or you can make a class very simple. I use big sword and armor. Like that's all you need, which that's really badass too.
Yeah.
I like the option. I like variety. That's
Yeah,
why
but,
I think the older Dark Souls had a lot more variety than like Dark Souls 3 quality builds, or like OP, or Bloodborne is just like Dark Souls decks. And then Sekiro doesn't really fit in. There's not customization like Bloodborne, but I like the variety.
I got you.
I like to play different styles.
I got you. Yeah. So just like really good like class customization would be key. Like I said, I don't know a game where I could play like a warlock type character. So like an evil like magic user and uses like maybe like leeches, like steals energy, maybe also maybe like kind of like maybe something in WoW where you can like bind creatures if there's demons like within the world, just something like that.
Have you heard of Age of Conan?
Yeah, like the
Yeah, they are the MMO. They had a necromancer. You could just summon like an army of skeletons to constantly be following you. Like that's the kind of necromancer dark
Yes.
magic I like.
Yes.
That's so cool.
yeah.
Not a lot of games represent that. You're totally right. There needs to be more than just
undead
elements.
undead mage like spell type characters. Yeah, necromancer obviously is what.
Like dark
Diablo's
magic
one of the
rather than
few.
dark rather than elemental. It's cool.
Yeah, I mean, and I like elemental. If I'm a mage and I throw a big fireball at your face, I mean, hell yeah, that's a good time. But also, like, I want a bunch of different. And then with other classes, you could do a bunch of different stuff as well. Like, with stealth, you could do like. So another thing I always liked is like a magic. Actually, kind of like what you're saying, but even more so. A stealth character who has magical abilities, like not magical ability. He's not a mage. He's got a affinity for magic. So he uses that to like, he doesn't throw fireballs, but he uses it to conceal himself, confuse people, maybe like a mesmer type character, like smoke and mirrors, like there's
School in Elder Scrolls.
What's that?
Like the illusion scroll or school of magic in Elder Scrolls games.
Essentially, kind of like that, but better,
more fleshed out.
Yeah, like I said, like concealment, maybe concealing your like other, like if you're, like I said, because it's also like a party system type game, right? So concealing like your allies and stuff, maybe concealing one of your allies to like make a move at somebody else.
If you think of gameplay here, like we're not thinking, we're comparing so much to this to Elder Scrolls that we need to stop that. Because think like, you can throw a smokescreen wall that you can hide behind, something like that. You're already in the dark, but that smokescreen wall will make a part of the room dark. So you've really got to consider what the day-to-day gameplay would be like in your scenario, and that's so cool because it opens up so many options because there's not stealth magic users in games other than like, Dishonored maybe, but that's offensive magic.
That's what I'm saying, Cameron, is there needs to be like a good fantasy party system game where you've got like a bunch of different classes that you can be.
You're getting me hyped for your game.
I would also like a also like maybe he also uses magic to like affect mind, so like kind of like a Jedi almost, like the stealth guy, like he uses it, yeah, basically. Or like also I'm a huge fan of like monk characters in video games too. So like definitely like some kind of monk. Just I'm going off track, but just like a bunch of different customization for class and your character's appearance. A bunch of different races in the world. So like you can be a human, you can be whatever they made up in the world. Obviously like the normal stuff, elf, orc, whatever, but different subspecies of elves. And then finally, the combat would be like. I would say, like, I would honestly say not as difficult as like a game like Dark Souls, because when I'm thinking about this game, I'm more so focused on like the story and the characters than the actual. So I would say something like Dragon Age Origins, which is a it is real time and you stop the clock, you freeze, and then like tactical, I guess you could say. So like it's real time or tactical depending on how you want to approach it, and then you work together with your party to like fight monsters and bandits and whatever stuff like that, and then open world with quests. That's basically like would be one of my favorite games. But I'm hesitant to say open world too because of what I said to you. Like I feel like when that happens, the story part kind of falls off, and that's more important to me. So maybe even if it was instanced like outward, so like there's open world instanced, and you just go to like instance to instant type thing, kind of like also Mass Effect, but bigger. That would be really fucking cool.
I'm excited to hear what Stan has to say.
That's all I got.
So, I mean, I haven't put a whole lot of thought into this, but knowing me, my first thought is sci-fi creative survival game.
Yep.
So
Yeah.
basically a Space Engineers analog. So what I would do, and I really like Space Engineers. I think Space Engineers is almost one of the perfect games for me. There are a few things I would change. So I would start with that kind of as a base, and I would take elements from games like Subnautica and World of Warcraft and just add the things that I like in there. So I like the idea of like not a main storyline, but a background story. So if you guys have ever played Subnautica, it's like an open world survival game.
Fantastic
And
story.
yeah, the story is fantastic, but the story starts and then it drops you into the play area and then it's done. And then you go find the story bit by bit with no instruction. There's no guidance. There's no like, oh, I need to go do this next. It's you can do whatever you want. And if you happen to go to this exact place, you'll find this, which is a clue to the story, which will tell you to go here, which will tell you to go there, which will tell you to go there. So there is an end game, but it's open. So you could do your base building, you could screw off, you could have fun, but then you can also like progress. Now, another thing I'd really like to introduce to a game like that I think would be really interesting, especially with Space Engineers. If there were World of Warcraft style guilds and raids for a game like that, I'd be all over it. So, I mean, you guys have seen me. Imagine me getting with a group of 40 guys. We all go get our best ships we can build, and we raid like an enemy base on an
I like
asteroid.
that idea a lot, Stan.
How freaking cool with that? When the only, like, really the only limit to what you can do to fuck up your opponent is like what you can imagine. You know what I'd do? I'd build like a giant ship that just latches on to smaller ships and just like eats them with a drill. Because like the drill destroys any material it comes in contact with, and then it consumes it. So like if I could make something big enough and I could put pistons on it to make like arms, because there's pistons and rotors and a lot of locomotive parts. So imagine like, you know, you're in a raid, you've got like support, artillery, like frontline fighter ships. You've got a whole bunch of different ships built at different specs, and at each point you're like, you're not just building a class, you're actually putting the thing together like bit by bit with what you can do. That would
Would
be
you
so
be
cool.
down for PvP as well?
Yeah.
So, what's that one game that has like the highest record of any battle? Like the cost of the real.
Eve?
Yeah, I think it is Eve.
Eve Online.
So, yeah, so imagine like Space Engineers mixed with Eve. That'd be awesome. Do you know what Eve is, Stan?
Not really.
Don't
I think
tell
I have
him.
heard of that.
Don't. No, you need to look it up
Don't
because if you
tell
get
him.
into that, I could probably get into that with you.
Don't tell him.
So like, people can spend real money on ships or something, or the
Yeah.
currency they earn in game equals so much real life, whatever. So they had this battle, and so many people were involved in this battle that it was like, I don't want to say it was $1 million, but it was definitely like hundreds of thousands of dollars of
Wasted.
ships destroyed because of this one battle. But it was like, it had something to do with like intergalactic trading that wasn't going on in the community is like why the battle started. Like, I might totally be making that up, but I feel like I read something that there was
No,
a
I
reason the
definitely
battle had happened was because of something that happened in game. Like, it wasn't just a random, all right, we're just gonna make the biggest battle. Like, something went down to why this battle happened. And that's so cool.
Yeah.
I'll drop
Yeah,
a grand on a
that's
ship.
Um,
So can you build ships in EVE Online, or do you just buy them?
I don't know, honestly.
Uh-oh.
you don't build ships in Eve, Stan.
There's gotta be some customization, right?
There's customization to the ships, yeah, but you don't like build them per se.
No, it's all about the building for me.
He's got to build it.
But I'm
He can't
saying
build it, he doesn't
that's
want
your that's your crossover game though. Is that
Yeah.
that level, that scale?
In yours, Cameron, I wanted to get back to this, and then you again, Sam. But like, I'm guessing there's PvP in yours, right?
Yeah, that'd be cool if you did Dark Souls level or just arenas to battle with other players. You know what I mean? So, so something you don't know about Dark Souls. Every time there's a new release, so in Dark Souls 1, right after you fight Artorias, there's actually an arena you can fight in, and it just puts you in like there's like 2 or 3 different maps you can go in, and it just spawns you, and then it spawns an enemy, and it's just a one-on-one fight. And then in Dark Souls 2, there's a spot to do that also, and every time you
I'm
win,
out of player PvP.
yeah, it's another player. So it's just arenas that they set up, and then you can just do that. And then I think in 3 they even set up 2v2s and 3v3s. So something similar to that would be really cool. I don't care as much for invasions and stuff because, like I said, I would want the game to be very large.
Well, that's what I'm saying. So how would the PvP in yours work? Would it be because you can't, because if you make it everybody in the open world game, then it's an MMO,
Yeah, I don't want that.
and you don't want that. Yeah, so like
So similar to Dark Souls, like in certain areas, like if you're in this city, you can be invaded, or if you're in like certain types of caves, maybe you could be invaded, like only specific locations. And then if you wanted to sign up for arenas to do stuff like that, that'd be totally cool. And that's where that variety would become even more in play. Like the builds you would see in PvP would be so interesting compared to what would be, BIS and PvE.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just it's really Dark Souls.
obviously I'm a huge fan of PvP, and I wanted to bring this up because I didn't like. Obviously, I'm a huge fan of PvP, but in my ideal game that I'm creating here with like the combat and everything, there would be no PvP. This would just be like a single player experience. But yeah, anything else, Stan?
No, I'm
good. Okay. Well, you know what that means, Zidane. Your question.
He says Battlefield 4. Sorry.
Battlefield 4, that's it.
would
Actually,
respect
no.
that.
It's not a shooter. It's nothing like that. I'm torn between an action RPG and more of a medieval RTS simulation style game. That's
Crusader Kings.
I've never played it, so I don't know what that is. So I really like Bannerlord 2.
The new, yeah. Nope, just Bannerlord.
It's Mountain Blade Bannerlord or something like I don't remember.
That's right, not 2.
Not 2? You sure? You sure there's not a 2 in there?
Oh shit.
I think
I don't
he's
know.
saying he doesn't like to.
No, I'm saying there's not a 2 in the title, but I've been wrong once tonight, boys.
I feel like there is. Anyway, that is my style of game that I love. I love simulation. If it's something that I can build and grow and take over the fucking world with, that's what I want.
Would it be in your? Would it be in? So when you, this is like your game, right? Sorry,
Yeah.
I didn't mean to
No, you're
divert
fine.
you, but like,
Ask away.
would it be in our universe, or would you make? Would ideally you want like its own kind of universe,
Its
whole
own
different-
type of universe,
Yeah.
but still have that medieval style
For sure.
era, because I love period music. Like, put a flute in it, yes. Like, I want that music. Like, there has to be good music in the game. I've talked about it before, or else it's not a good game. And
Do you want it to be realistic?
Yeah, that's what I was about to ask. Fantasy, medieval, or medieval?
Well, I mean, we already established it's in a different universe, right?
So yeah, I guess it'd be fantasy.
Well, reality can be whatever you want's there.
But you know what I mean, Stan. Like,
Grounded in
is it gonna be like old to like our world, like medieval, or like act like is there? Okay, is there dragons in the fucking game?
No,
Is this-
no, there's no goddamn dragons in this game.
have
Then
you
it's
ever
more,
heard?
then it's more realistic.
Have you played Kingdom Come Deliverance?
I have. I love that game. I mean, I haven't put a whole lot of time into it, but I need to because what I did play, I loved it. And
You
Yeah,
should take
it
a peek at Crusader.
So, like,
Kings.
you know, I love the style of the Bannerlord where you were kind of roaming around on the open world map, and then you'd come in contact with enemies or whatever, and then it'd shrink down onto a battlefield, and you took control of you, and then you had your forces, and you could tell them where to go, what to do, set up ambushes, that type of thing. My favorite thing to do was to couch my lance and fucking just run people over with my horse.
I remember that.
God. So, I guess I would make Bannerlord, but
What
better
could you
because
add? So think
because
about what
it's-
you add to it. Sorry, go ahead.
it's fine. I really don't know. The game's not. It's like an early access beta, whatever you want to call it.
Like, is there something that you don't like or something that you think it misses that could be added to it? Maybe something from a different game, even?
Magic, I guess. Even though I said no dragons, because that's too far fantasy, I guess. But magic needs to be there. When you think medieval, you think magic, right? Right. It needs to be in there.
I also think a game like what you're creating, Zidane, I think it should definitely be. It could definitely be realistic, like our world. But like, if you make like a game like that in like a different universe, then you have the ability to make like different humanoid races and tribes and like different
All kinds of
groups.
crazy shit.
And maybe this game is so big that it's even like a whole world, right? So it's like, I don't know if that's the scale you were thinking with it, or maybe like a Game of Thrones type scenario where it's like a like Westeros type thing.
Yeah. I would go with the
But-
whole world. That seems cool. I like that.
Because then you've got a bunch of like diverse different kinds of groups. Like the writers could have a field day with the game, just like making all these different groups of people throughout this universe that they created. So yeah, that sounds really cool.
So there's my game.
Can I lightning round one at you?
Is there PvP in it?
No.
Okay.
No.
Go ahead.
PvP
Go ahead,
is
Cameron.
not required.
So one about my first game. It would be very similar to Dark Souls. You could play it offline, and you'd never know it had PvP options. Like, that's the kind of PvP I want in my game. Like, you could, like I said, if you didn't know there was PvP in Dark Souls, would you have ever actually known?
No.
You know what I mean?
No way.
Exactly. I really like that. But I think I had mentioned this on a separate
I
episode.
would have
we
figured
did.
out when Cuckbuster 69 came in and killed me.
I mean, he's not wrong.
Yeah, you know what I mean?
No way.
Exactly. I really like that. But I think I had mentioned this on a separate
I
episode.
would have
we
figured
did.
out when Cuckbuster 69 came in and killed me.
I mean, he's not wrong.
Yeah. I think I mentioned this one on another podcast. I think it'd be really
Cuckbuster.
cool to have an open world, like survival horror-esque zombie game where you can like build your own base and just kind of go at your own pace. You're just let free in the world. You can either go around and kill zombies, but I don't want special zombies. I want just slow, dumb zombies that like take physical damage. If I shoot them in the leg, they're gonna fall down and crawl at me. If I shoot them in the head, they're dead. Like, that simple. I got to scavenge for my bullets. I can maybe eventually craft them if I make like a really cool base. There's cities out there. So like cities would give really good rewards, but obviously it's very risky because there'd be a ton of zombies around. But
Mhm.
I don't know if Dead Rising actually, I know that there was an achievement to kill like a crazy number of zombies, but like how cool would it be that there was a definitive number of zombies? So like as you cleared, there would be less zombies in that area. Obviously more could roam in, but let's say there's 50,000 zombies. If you killed 50,000 zombies, you've liberated the entire game. Like, that would be wild. But I want a really good first-person shooter it doesn't even have to be survival horror. I just want a good zombie game. I don't know if there's ever been one. Like they made that Walking Dead one where you played as like the crossbow dude. I don't know. And I think they had just also zombies. You got to deal with the hordes and they died one-shot headshots, but the game was a piece of shit. Like
Yeah.
I don't know. That just sounds really cool. Zombies are very almost cliche, or used to be in the video game world, but I think that's kind of died down a little bit.
So would it be like DayZ? Is that what you're kind of saying?
Yeah, DayZ. Yes, actually. Imagine DayZ with good gameplay. Like DayZ
Yeah.
is so clunky and busted.
It really is.
Like
Even after all these years.
Maybe like Dead Island with DayZ?
yeah, that'd be a good. If shout out to Nakey Jakey, he did a short series on like games that should bang or something, and I
Yeah,
feel like that's what we're
that's it.
doing right now.
Yeah,
I love that.
But yeah, so yeah, Dead Island and DayZ would be really cool. And I'm not saying I wouldn't want it, but now I kind of almost want it to be multiplayer. Let's have the option to do it multiplayer with a buddy or not. But yeah, you could just build these bases.
One person like co-op, that's it kind of thing.
I don't know. That's a tough question right now. We're in early development of our game. We're not going to probably.
Is it alpha?
Yeah, but no,
we're pre-alpha.
shooters is definitely up there. I really do love RPG, but shooters are always fun, and they never. Not very often do I get a good shooter RPG. So Outer Worlds is coming to Steam like this week, maybe the 23rd. I feel like so. I don't know why I have such a big hate against that Game Pass, so I pay for it and I've preached about it, but I can't get on there and play single player games or something a whole lot. So I'm kind of excited for this to be on Steam because I'm going to buy it again. And Steam.
Yeah,
Again.
Well, I never bought it. I pay the $5 a month and it's one of the games there, but I play Forza and whatnot on that pass. And
I have another
I'll price it.
question for the. I have another question for the room. Then, like Cameron kind of inspired me, because we're all different when it comes to that. We haven't really talked about it yet. So, but we all have experience with it. Like, what would be an ideal competitive shooter type game if you guys were to make one of those?
Man, I suck at shooters so bad. I don't even want to. No thanks.
I mean, that's an acceptable answer.
I really thought Brink was gonna be super cool.
I remember that game. I bought that.
Like,
it was garbage.
Yeah, because I was really into Mirror's Edge when that first came out, and they're like, "Yeah, it's gonna be like Mirror's Edge with guns and multiplayer," and I'm like, "Oh my goodness!" And then it flopped hard, like
Really hard.
super hard. Pretty sure it's like a free game on Steam now, and I still have never tried it. But I don't know. Call of Duty is really fun. I hate to be such a generic kind of human on that, but I had a lot of fun with that
Bro.
whatever beta, Cold War. I just like that gunplay is really fun.
Mhm.
But on the opposite spectrum, I love pub gunplay too. It's really different.
And my competitive shooter needs to have realistic gameplay like pub.
Not Battlefield 4?
No. That is an arcade shooter, my friend.
I know, but it's so cool.
It's a great game. But yeah, definitely realistic with PUBG. I don't know where I'd go with it.
But he said competitive shooter.
It can be
So
competitive.
when I said that is a broad term, Cameron. It's like an arena shooter can be competitive. Siege is competitive. Quake is competitive.
That's what I thought.
There's a lot of different. Yeah, when I said that, it kind of left it open ended for you guys.
Because when you said Siege, it kind of made me. When you said competitive, it made me think of Siege. I don't know why.
I got you.
I don't play many games competitively. Most of the time, I just like to go play social matches and.
I used to like to play them competitively, and then play with Cam, and I know that's not possible.
So I think a good FPS game. Well, not FPS, but so like it has to have really good movement. And one thing I haven't talked about enough on here, is like Gears of War. I really loved in Gears of War, the older ones, how there was a huge movement and shooting FPS, even though it's third person. There's a big FPS and movement skill gap between people in that video game. you might not even be good at. So this was like me at first with the game. I was really bad at Gears of War for like a really long time. But like as far as like the shooting went and like weapon acquirement and stuff like that, which is a big part of the game, getting the drops on the map. But what I was really good at was moving around people. And so like I kind of used that. So like I could beat people that were mechanically better than me at that video game because I could move better than they were. And I just really liked that because then it offered like different skill gaps. So like if I wanted to be really good at, and then there were people who were good at all, they checked all the boxes and they were just insane, right? But if you could like, if there's more choice in like how you can be good at the game, I like that a lot. Same reason I like Apex is you can move around people a lot and you can also just have really good aim and shoot people in the fucking head, right? So I think an FPS like that would be really cool. I feel like in like a game like Siege, it's like the same. And I suck at Siege. I'm not good at it. I don't like it very much. But like, I feel like it's all like one way to play the game, and that's kind of boring to me. That's it. That's it, man.
Yeah.
Siege is totally different. I think it's very, very unique in the sense of how it's played because you can't.
But everyone's playing the one way.
I know.
That's what I'm saying.
You gotta play that one way. You gotta bunker down, and you gotta defend, or you gotta play very, very cautiously and attack. You can't.
I'd rather have an FPS where there's multiple options.
Have you ever seen someone who's really, 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 really good at play Siege? They don't move slowly.
Oh, they're pick corner, shoot, like they're constantly strafing back and forth.
Their whole W.
It's insane, but they're the top of the line.
Yeah.
But I think that and the guy sitting around, like it's still like similar, like it's just point and shoot. So
everything breaks. That's what I think's really cool about Siege.
Yeah, that is
almost everything.
Yeah, most things break.
Anyway, so that would be a good FPS for me. Are we good?
I'm good.
I think we're good.
I'm fantastic.
Good, Kim. All right. Good. Well, in that case, we're going to wrap this up here. Like always, I want to thank you guys for taking the time. I really appreciate it.
My pleasure, Bosman.
It's a commitment and we all subscribe to it and I appreciate every time we come out and do it. So I want to give you guys your due every time. If anyone watched, thank you.
Thanks, Brandon.
And thank you, Brandon. Thank you, my cousin. Also, if you comment on like anything that we talked about in this video. So like, what would be your ideal video game if you have one? Give us a brief synopsis. Maybe it's FPS, RPG, whatever. Just let us know. And then any of the other stuff we talked about tonight, controllers, anything like that. If there's something you want to comment about, let us know. Definitely love to hear from anybody out there. And then, like always, like at the end, I just asked for like feedback comments. So if you could double dip and do one of each, that would be awesome. We'd greatly, greatly appreciate it. Cameron?
Make sure to comment, like, share, and subscribe. Thanks,
Take
team.
it easy.